Hi, welcome to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Miller. I'm a stroke survivor and grateful recovering alcoholic. Today, I wanted to talk about the amazing shopping spree day I had. So, I got to go shopping in a very creative way today. And I want to thank my niece, and I know that you're listening. I love you so much, and please tell your roommate and best friend that the feeling is also directed towards her as well. So these young women took me to the mall, being someone who cannot browse for her own clothes online or in person. They sat me down in a corner in the store, and they went out and found me outfits and shoes and belts, and I sat in the fitting room and they just brought me clothes, like batch after batch of their arms full of clothes. It was so amazing. It was so much fun. I got tons of clothes. I think I had 4 gigantic bags of clothes that we left with today. So I'm going to be the most stylish, disabled person never leaving the house in the world. That's what I am. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I want to talk about just some of that experience and how that, I navigated that today with my impairment. And I wanted to talk about some other stuff that I did today and how I've been feeling. So that's what we're going to talk about. But first of all, I want to talk about why I'm able to do this. The only reason, and I need to always come back to that as a person in recovery for both alcoholism and my stroke, I need to always be reminded and reflect on the fact that the only way that I'm able to have this kind of experience in my life right now is because I'm putting so much time into my mental health and my recovery. So, although my vision is still the same as far as not being able to really walk long distances, even aside from all the other stuff that I can't do, um, all of that is the same. But what seems to be changing and growing is my acceptance. It would be interesting to go back now and listen to the first episode. Like, that's what I keep trying to do, is go back to this first episode where I can hear the distress in my voice. Just teetering on the edge of depression and grief and all of these feelings that I just didn't even understand as I had to walk away from my job. So I'm able to do these joyful things because I'm clearing a channel for it. And that's what I'm doing in this podcast. That's why I'm showing up every day for this podcast. And there are sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it in the evening. I appreciate my audience being flexible. But so I did a couple other things today, and I continue to try to grow my network. So this morning I went to my 7 a.m. meeting as usual, the huge. And it was exciting. There was a gentleman there that I haven't seen in quite a while that I think very highly of. So I got to see him and all of the usual suspects. And then I decided to go to another AA meeting right after that. So this next AA meeting was a part of another network that I've been starting to learn about online. So I went into that AA meeting, and I think I was only in there for like maybe a minute, and they made me laugh. And I'm like, all right, I feel at home. It's like no matter which one I go to, I always feel at home. It seems to happen. I have talked in the past about feeling sometimes like it wasn't for me. I think over time, I'm a lot more comfortable going to pretty much any of them. I'm sure that I could probably still walk into one here and there that I wouldn't be my cup of tea. So anywho, I went to this other AA meeting, and I enjoyed that. It was a great topic. We were talking about letting go, how to let go, and that really resonates me. I talked about my God box actually. And so then after that, I took a shower, and my boyfriend and I went and voted, which just happens to be at the school right next to my house where I always take my dog. So that wasn't too much of a big deal. I was able to uh, read the ballot and everything. It was, the normal agitation and dizziness and all that stuff. It's fine. I did it. So that felt good to vote. And then after that, I went to, yes, I'm a busybody. After that, at noon, I went to a Toastmasters group. So I had met another woman online who is a stroke survivor, and we just introduced ourselves to each other, had a call for about an hour. I talked about it in one of the episodes. And she said that my story about a stroke and alcoholism was one that she felt was very powerful. So she encouraged me to possibly join this Toastmasters group with her that has a couple people that are stroke survivors. So I attended that today just to listen in and see if it's something that I might be interested in. I think everybody can use some time having people tell them how many times they say in a speech, but I don't know. I really haven't decided if I want to do Toastmasters or not. I've always been intrigued by it. I just am not terribly excited about the format, how you're sitting and talking to this group of people. It just seems a little fake to me. I feel like I would rather practice in real life, standing in front of like a gigantic audience. That's what I feel like I would rather do, but that's just me. I have a lot of public speaking experience, and and now I'm very, very much paying attention to my ums right now. The best book that I ever read or advice I ever got about public speaking was from a book called Talk Like Ted. And it was when I listened to that book, I've talked about this before, that I felt like, well, I can learn public speaking just like I can learn anything else. So I'm just going to keep reading books and studying and practicing until I'm amazing at it. That's what I decided. I'm going to do that. So I listened to a bunch of books, and Talk Like Ted was the best one that I read. I actually should listen to it again. So after that, I went shopping. So I felt like this experience today, going shopping with them, was like nourishing my spirit today. That's what I felt like. It was just, I was so happy, from my head to my toes. I was just so happy. And I really I can't dismiss the fact of why I was able to achieve that level of joy today. So I feel like as I've been working this recovery over the past 4 months, I slowly have been stopping trying to force my will on this whole stroke recovery situation. Meaning, I feel like, I know like 4 months ago, I waved the white flag and I said, I'm done. I gotta walk away from my job. I've gotta rest. I've gotta take care of myself. But I still kept resisting, and I still am. I'm still resisting. I think it's going to take me a while. I think that I need to continue to uh, acknowledge that this is a life-changing event that happened in my life. And the symptoms that I'm experiencing are not anything to sneeze at. When we were at the mall today, one of them asked me, so what would happen if you looked around while you were riding up the escalator? And I said, well, it's a great question. It's a very complex answer. It's not a complex answer. It's a complex set of symptoms that would happen. And I really feel right now that the migraine injections that I'm getting might be working against me getting better. And I'll tell you why, because and I tried to allude to it yesterday, but I don't know if I'm articulating it well. When I move the migraine, the sharp pains out of the picture, then I do things that I normally wouldn't do, that would normally cause sharp pains in my head. And so when I do those things, instead of getting sharp pains in my head, which to me seems like they're more of a signal that's telling me, hey, you shouldn't do that. But since I don't have those sharp pains, then I'm continuing to do it. And what happens after that are the next symptoms. And right now, these next symptoms are, I was telling her, my niece's friend who asked me this, I said, it's like being terribly, terribly hungover. And I know that feeling well, being terribly hungover and then riding a roller coaster. That's what I feel like. That's what I have felt like for about 3 days now. And I really think it's because some of the symptoms have been removed. So I'm pushing further. And so now I've got new symptoms. And I can feel my brain fatigued and I can feel that I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. But I don't know. It's like I need help. I need help having somebody tell me what I can do because I still don't know after all this time. I don't know what I can do and what I can't do. But I have a feeling that most of what I'm doing is stuff I shouldn't be doing. But I don't know what to do otherwise because I'm doing minimal. I feel like I'm doing minimal stuff. And it's too much still. I feel like the only time I feel okay is if I'm laying down in bed. That's it. And I can't live my life laying down in bed. So anyway, my challenges, my frustrations, but I'm trying to surrender. I'm trying to tell myself, you're a stroke survivor. Your life is different now. You may not be able to do the things that you used to do ever again. That just seems inconceivable to me. So I still have a long way to go to surrender. But I do feel like I'm coming to a place of hope. And that hope that I'm coming to is because 100% because of the people around me in my life. Absolutely. It's my family, it's my friends, it's people subscribing to this podcast. It's it's anybody who is giving me a thumbs up, like on social media. It's people that are calling me. It's my ex staff, my team members. They're all going to come visit me next week. And maybe even my boss will come. We'll see. But it's that. Like, that is where my hope is living. People are what's helping me keep going and feel like I have something to offer still. And I'm just incredibly grateful for that. It's my niece and her friend. I hate saying my niece and her friend because her friend is also a person. But anyway, it's them coming and willing to dedicate a whole afternoon to this old lady, and pick out stylish clothes for me to sit around the house in. And let me tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this. I did, but I don't know if I mentioned this. They're totally cute. Totally cute. I'm totally doing a fashion show and I'm going to post it on Facebook because I got so many likes when I told everybody that I was being taken on a creative shopping spree. So just continuing to expose myself to this level of hope around me is building hope within me. So that's why I keep trying to reach out to other people. I don't think in my entire sobriety for 7.5 almost years that I've reached out to this many sober people in my life because I need it. I need a whole new level of sobriety in my life because this is like the real shit. This is when you're handling an incredible amount of adversity and you need to stay on the beam and stay it's almost like I don't want to deplete. I want to keep having overflowing hope so that I can share it and I can bring people with me. So anyway, gratitude, lots of gratitude. But I want to tell you what happened with this shopping spree before I end. So we went to H&M. So I'm 49 years old, but my fashion interest is like I'm 25. So good or bad, I don't know. It's what I like to wear. Now I'm not wearing anything that's like super showy or anything like that. Like I'm not going to Forever 21. I have been seen in Forever 21, but I never find anything in there. It's all a little too risque for me. So I don't even go in there anymore. That was probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago. All right, maybe 5 years ago. Okay, so we went to H&M and I just went straight back to the dressing room and I was looking at some undergarments because there's just not a lot of selection, so it was pretty easy for me to just look at those while they ran around the store and filled their arms up with clothes that they thought that I would probably like. So they know my style. We kind of have the same style. Even I don't know if that's good or bad because I'm like over twice their age. So I don't know. No, I'm not over twice their age. I am twice their age. A little under even. Anywho, so they came back with, and I told them it doesn't matter how much anything is. Just pick it up if you think it'll be cute, if you think it's stylish, if you think it's comfy. So the guidelines were, I want something that's like indoor, outdoor outfits where I can go to the store or go to the dentist, one of them said, if I want in the outfit, or I can stay inside and sit Indian style. That was a requirement. I need to be able to sit Indian style because I am constantly pulling my legs into my body. So I'm always sitting in a ball, a little tidbit about me. I'm always all squished into like fetal position. So so those were the requirements. And what I forgot to tell them at first was that I don't like turtlenecks. I don't like anything around my neck. And I don't like wool because it's scratchy. I think that was it. I said, other than that, like I'll try anything on. It's fine. So they brought me back like a ton of stuff that I totally would not have picked up off of the hangers. I would not have. So I ended up liking probably 3/4 of what they brought. And so they were like, do you want us to go back out again or do you want to go to a different store? And they said, we totally didn't look around the entire store. And I was like, go back out, go seek. So I sat in the fitting room while they went out again and brought back 2 gigantic handfuls again. So I tried all that stuff on and I think again, it was about 3/4 of the stuff they brought I liked and it fit. And then so my niece's friend, that's her name, my niece's friend, she went back out again. Every time she went back out, she'd bring back more stuff, which was awesome. So I ended up getting, I don't know, like 5 pairs of pants, 2 sweater dresses, a long sleeve shirt, and an undergarment. Oh, and some socks. So tons of stuff. And then, so that was fun. I was so happy. And I was sitting in the fitting room, or I was like changing my clothes in the fitting room. And I was like kind of eavesdropping. I was trying to be really quiet so I could hear what they were talking about. And they were totally talking about like me and my outfits and like, oh, I think that shirt would be really good with those pants. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's so adorable. They weren't even like, talking about their own lives when they're with, their old aunt. They were still talking about what we were doing. It was just so sweet. It was just one of the happiest days. So after we left H&M, we also did like a Price is Right guess on how much I was spending. So my niece's friend was the winner on that one. So then we went to JCPenney, and there I got some shoes, which after all was said and done, I got 30% off, which my shoes ended up being free then in that case, and they're totally adorable. And I got some long sleeve shirts and a cardigan, and then we took a selfie in a big gigantic mirror, And I posted that on Facebook. If you are so inclined, there's a picture of us on Facebook sitting or standing in front of all of the bags. So it was a great experience. I think that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's it. And then we left. We didn't have all day. My niece's friend had to go to work, which she did get a chance to buy herself a little something. And speaking of niece, since you are listening, you will be receiving some sort of amazing thank you from myself and my boyfriend. We haven't figured out what it's going to be, but it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for what that gift is as a big, gigantic, wholehearted thank you for just filling my heart and soul and spirit up today. I'm so grateful for you and all of the times that you come visit me. You do so much for me. Just coming by and taking me to Joann's Fabrics to pick out fabric for my little sewing projects and helping me pick out the designs and the fabrics because I can't look at them myself. I just love you so much. You've been a huge, huge part of my recovery, and I love you. And my niece's friend. Love you too. All right. Well, that's what I have for you today. Just a little update on how great and joyful my day was. It's nice, so nice to have a good day like this. And thanks for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.